Ooh, it has been a hot minute since I've had anything to showcase here on the channel. But today I'm coming back at you correct with one of the coolest, most asked about, and frankly probably one of the most popular helmet designs in all of Star Wars. Let's get into this. All right, welcome to another episode of Paul's Collectibles. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be getting back to my main jam here on Paul's Collectibles, full-size Star Wars helmets. And this time we've got a doozy. I know a lot of people were anticipating this one, and frankly, I do have a version of this helmet that's a custom in my collection, and it's the one that gets asked about the most. Paul, where do I get one? Paul, where'd you get yours? And that is the Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet, but this time from the Black Series and Hasbro. This came from Big Bad Toy Store. Wasn't supposed to get here till May, but I got it in early here on the 31st of January. So with that, we're not gonna waste any time. Let's get this thing right in front of some lights, take a look at it, and see what I'll be adding to my helmet collection today. And then afterwards, I'll compare it to my custom Phase 2 helmet in case you're interested, and we'll see what the differences are. Okay, so first off, let's start with the box. They're still using that 5-sided box with the nice flat corner here. Great picture of the Phase 2 Clone Trooper there. As we come around, there's the actual helmet, and then there's another view of the helmet as they do normally. And then there's, once again, another view of the helmet, and then they do the half situation with what looks like the blueprints on the bottom. But let's get it open and see how they pack this one as compared to some of the other Stormtrooper helmets that we've gotten. Got the cardboard on top. Very similar packaging we've seen before. Bag came off. And this one just comes in one piece right in the box like that. Okay, there it is out of the box. And let's just state the obvious and get it out of the way right at the front. This thing is awesome. Look at this helmet. First of all, it's good and sturdy. It doesn't shake, it doesn't rattle. There doesn't seem to be any seams. It's that good standard Hasbro plastic. Looks very nice, very detailed. The grill work on the front of this, as you can see, there's grill netting in there. This gray is done beautifully. Underneath here, you can see just the beautiful metallic looking designs, wonderfully cut in with the black mouthpiece there. As we come around, and once again, one of the things that I like about these Hasbro helmets is instead of stickers, this is three-dimensional. This is molded in. This is all molded in, and unlike the Stormtrooper helmets, which came in 2 or 3 pieces depending on which one you got, this one came all together, so the seams aren't anywhere near as noticeable. You can see a very small seam right there where obviously it was put together, but wow, is that really indiscreet. And coming around, look at this beautiful shiny deco. I mean, this was going to leave fingerprints if I messed with it too much. Coming around the back, so wonderfully done. This is good detailing right there. There's the black, that almost feels like rubber, maybe a different type of plastic that is molded into there. This feels like it might have been a different piece. It's slightly loose, and when I say slightly loose, I mean ever so slightly. It doesn't rattle, but if you push hard, you can move it. Keep coming around. The gray looks beautiful. Look at the side profile of this helmet, all cut in nicely, super shiny. That is apparently a voice changer, which is good news because there's no stupid obvious battery pack on the pack. I wonder if that's the battery pack. Once again, I don't care, I don't do the voice changing, and I don't use it, so we're probably not even gonna explore that much, but they did a good job of camouflaging that silly button. Once again, as you come around, there's just really nothing to complain about on this helmet. I am absolutely floored. This is as good as, if not better than, their best helmet, which in my opinion was the Bo-Katan helmet, just based on construction, or maybe the Black Series Stealth Stormtrooper, the black Stormtrooper one that had them. That one was beautiful too, beautiful plastic. But this rivals that and may actually be #1 as far as quality and attention to detail. Just a good looking helmet. And once again, the lenses are a good hardy plastic. Let's get a look inside and see what we see. And there we go. That's what I'm talking about. See how they've done the interior with all this fake like padding in here, and it looks like there's electronics in here and things like that, and it's got the good quality head rig down in there with the nice headpiece on top, unlike the Legacy Stormtrooper helmet. which I've shown you before when I got the artillery trooper, and it just was terrible on the inside. And look at that, there's like what looks like hoses up here that go to these fake looking vents. Now that is how you do the interior of a helmet. That is just stunning. So that is just an absolute thing of beauty. I cannot believe it is so awesome. Now I've got a second one of these coming that I was going to paint a blue stripe on to make a 501st clone, but I don't know, man. This thing is really good. And it looks pretty screen accurate per se, even though we only got live action versions of this from the Kenobi series. And as you've heard, I have a friend of mine who actually wore that armor, and I suppose we could compare it to the tested Adam Savage video where he actually talks to the woman who helped make the armor. And you know, if you look at that helmet and you look at this one, they look pretty similar. But other than that, those are really only the live action comparisons we can make. Just looking at it, it looks great, and I can highly recommend this. Wow, it's good and sturdy. It's probably the heaviest, thickest helmet that I have from Black Series. Just an awesome purchase, and that's worth every penny. But I tell you what, as I promised, we're going to put this up next to my custom, which is one of my oldest helmets, and we'll see what the differences are so you can get an idea of what you may be getting if you buy one from, say, like Etsy or something like that, or from Hasbro. Okay, so there you have a side-by-side comparison. This is my custom, which was one of the oldest helmets in my collection from a company called Armory Prop Shop. And as I understand it, they're no longer in business. And then this is the Hasbro helmet. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you that this helmet is a lot smaller. And of course, the obvious difference is this has been weathered and this one is not weathered. So you'll see like the black markings and stuff. But some of the things that are different about this is, like I said, first of all, this is a lot lighter. The helmet overall is a little smaller. This one will actually go on my head. This one will not. And you can really see when you compare the two dome pieces, just how much smaller this one is. It's probably a good 5 to 7% smaller, at least, if not more. And one of the stark differences is look at the face plates here. This one is much narrower right here, and this is cut in much more sharply and shorter than over here. This is a flatter face plate, and it's more robust and wider. And of course, the gray is a different color, and then there's different meshing on the inside. Now the bottoms look pretty close. This one isn't painted quite as nice. That's kind of a dull black. And as we come around on this one, you can see that those are decals, whereas on this one, those are cut in. And I love this helmet, don't get me wrong, but this is clearly a superior product. But let's get them sideways. And one of the things I was interested in was the angle at which the chin pieces came down. It looked like to me this one was a bit too severe in the pictures, but when I compare it to this one, which has always looked correct to me, they look the same. So that's not bad. And this one obviously has a crack here where this guy, that's black paint, where this guy obviously had been in battle and there's rust and everything like that. And then on the back, these two helmets really don't compare. First of all, you'll notice that this is a much darker gray than this, and I think this is a little bit more screen accurate for a cartoon. This is just flat with very little ribbing, where this is pretty robust and three-dimensional. And then this right here, this dial-looking piece, come on, you look at the size difference. This one's way larger, and this has much more detail as opposed to this. But I will tell you, this has been one of my most popular helmets and the one I get asked about the most in my collection. But as with the artillery trooper helmet, which I already had a custom one done, I have another conundrum that I'd like you to join in and give me some advice if you'd like. I have to display one of these helmets, and man, they're beautiful. But if you'd like to weigh in the comments, hashtag Hasbro, hashtag custom, to vote for which one I should display, I would be thrilled and honored if you would do so, and that'll help me make that decision. But there you have it, just a quick fun look at the new Hasbro Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Wow, what a great piece, and I'm excited to have it. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, maybe you consider doing that for me. That's a great way to support my efforts here at Paul's Collectibles. And if you're already a subscriber or somebody who's been watching my videos for quite a while, you know I greatly appreciate it. But with that, I will see you on the next video.